Hi, welcome to another episode of Healing Soul Stories. Here in this space today, we are going to reveal quiet moments of transformation. I have Mamta with me, and Mamta and I have been into conversation about quantum healing hypnosis. She's an expert at that. Mamta has many stories about the sessions that she has conducted, and they have been so successful. People have got healed 100%, some have got healed 50%, but some have been given direction what they are supposed to do with their life. And Mamta and I are two very good friends who've been talking about these sessions. And I just want to give a disclaimer before we start that we are going to keep the client's confidentiality and we are only going to focus on the things that are going to help all the listeners. So, welcome, Mamta. What is it that one should actually be mindful of, and how? And one more thing, I just wanted to ask that, it is, of course, the present life, how you conduct yourself. But sometimes you feel that you've not done anything wrong, but still people are getting at you, uh, and you wonder, why is it when my conduct is so good, why are people having problems with me? So what is the explanation out there?
Most relationships, Yogita, and these issues do not actually start in the relationship itself. This is start within us. So I once worked with a client who kept attracting emotionally unavailable partners.
Acha.
Actually, it was she. In her session, she revisited a childhood memory, waiting for her father's attention and never receiving it.
Okay.
Right. So that was a problem, a father-daughter relationship problem. That feeling of not being chosen stayed in her subconscious. So as a result, she wasn't choosing unavailable partners by chance. She was creating a familiar emotional pattern.
Oh, so you mean to say that in the past life, uh, her dad was emotionally unavailable to her, and in the current life, she is not knowingly but attracting people who are not really available to her emotionally.
The story that I'm talking to you about, in this lifetime, the father was emotionally unavailable.
Okay, so you're saying that this is this lifetime and your method of starting to heal people is when they come, you actually interview them first. How does it go? Can you just give us the process first?
Yes. So we have an interview. It's in three parts: interview, then
Okay.
going under, and the third part is discussing the session.
Going under means going under hypnosis.
That's right.
Okay.
The client, sorry, is
Hmm.
so full of baggage and pain that the interview takes a little longer. And then there are so many issues to address.
Hmm. Yeah.
So in the interview or before the interview, I ask the clients to write down the issues,
Yeah.
what all they need healing for.
Okay.
And mostly we focus on one major issue. And along with that, when we are addressing the other issues, this major issue, we talk about the issues alongside. So the higher self, the subconscious, shows you what you're supposed to see, which is linked with
Hmm.
the concerns of this lifetime.
That's I mean, brilliant thing, where you are guiding them. But this is, I would say, divine intervention that the client goes only to that part of their life, either it could be current or past, where their issue is going to be resolved. But that is so beautiful. That means there is something so another realm working upon when you're doing the interview, when you're taking the client under. there is some kind of I would say divine intervention only, which is working and trying to get them to heal. So is it okay? How powerful is it? I mean, this whole when you take them in hypnosis, I understand that the client, of course, will go to their own journey, and you also go along with them while you asking them questions. You have your own questions to ask, but do you also get flashes or some kind of downloads about the person?
Absolutely, because we are in the same energy field. We are so focused, and
Hmm.
I can literally get visuals of what the client is talking about.
Hmm. Hmm.
Session, of course, every practitioner has their own way of connecting to the client's higher self. So I always connect and say, we'd like the session to show us some good results. And, other stuff, I talk to the
Hmm.
higher self, I connect personally one evening before the session. This is something
Okay.
that I do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is one part. And so when the person you are healing actually gets healed, but what about the person who this person has a problem with? So I'm just wondering, that this person will change. What about the other person who the
When you
relationship?
change, when you change, the vibrations automatically change
Hmm.
for the other person.
Okay.
So you cannot change anybody else. You don't even need to speak to them about it because somewhere your reactions and your attitude is also bringing on that kind of an emotion with the other person. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I
And
was thinking, that there would be that fear that, okay, I have seen this person is so and so in my earlier life, and I feel healed. But then I have to go back to the same person. So how does fear work over here? You know?
that's a good question. Fear, how fear works is that it plays a role in everyone's
Hmm.
life, and especially in this relationship thing.
Hmm.
So sometimes it is a trigger, it's a hidden driver.
Hmm.
Like, as in, a person might have fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. So for this
Correct.
lady, she had fear of rejection. She was being
Okay.
rejected, right? And
Yes.
you always attract what you fear.
Oh, that's a big one. Okay. You attract what you fear because fear is a very strong emotion.
Yes.
So
And
that's
it's
what you're saying.
opposite of love.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
either people say some things out of fear or they say out of love. And
Correct.
there's a person I know who had so much fear around alcohol because she had
Hmm.
seen so much alcohol in the family, right?
Hmm.
So she used to say, I never want to marry a person who drinks. What did
And
she
oh,
attract?
a drunkard.
Yeah. So uh, this is the reason why um, you need to catch hold of your thoughts and change it.
Hmm.
That person could have easily said, I want to marry a person who treats me like a princess, who is healthy, wealthy, and wise, something like that. And
Yeah.
that thing would have the story would have changed, the narrative would have changed. But that person, she attracted this for herself because it was out of fear. Right?
Hmm.
So these things just don't stay inside. They shape how we communicate, react, attach.
Hmm.
And in
So
hypnosis, In
Hmm.
hypnosis, we don't fight the fear.
Hmm.
We
You proceed.
understand, yeah,
Hmm.
we understand where it began, and when the root is seen, the
Hmm.
intensity dissolves.
Correct. So, I just want to, shorten this and just say it in a crisp manner that a healing takes place under hypnosis when you visit the root cause of the problem that you're facing. And once you see it in hypnosis and you come out, then you are completely healed.
Yes.
So that's I mean, this is such a wonderful thing, that any phobia, any fear, any discomfort, just see either it could be current life or past life, but this is it's a wonderful solution, I would say, that actually tell me something. People will have to come to you to do this. But is there something very powerful they can shift, within them, to better their relationships, while, of course, they're doing their everyday duty and they still have time to come and see you or
Yeah,
any other practitioner?
yeah. So when they come with to a session, they should not have any particular expectation in mind, because even during
Mhm.
the interview, we don't know what to expect from a session, and
Hmm.
if they just let go and just say, okay, what I accept whatever has to be shown to me, I will
Hmm.
see that, and then later on they need to work on themselves.
That's a very important thing. So, you are saying that some people come out and they need to work on themselves, and they're giving direction and also told what to do.
Yes,
Okay.
some already get a closure from watching whatever they were shown, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes the super consciousness says that she needs to work on herself. So there is a lot of letting go to do. And
Okay.
when a person has this kind of a session, it opens a portal for them to stay more connected.
How wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
So basically, people come to you, they go under hypnosis, there's a portal which opens up, and it is working with them, on them. And if they are ready to help themselves, they will take full advantage of this open portal. But tell me, if somebody just comes to you and just, 50% believes in this and also feels that there is some, healing which has happened, but, going back to the same rut. What happens to the open portal? I mean,
You
is there
don't
any?
you don't
Okay.
connect to it. You're just treating it like, okay, I had a session. It is a very profound
Yes.
experience, and
Yeah.
clients need to, I send the recordings, so do other practitioners, and they need to
Okay.
listen to it, and every time they listen to it, something changes within them. They get more insights
Okay.
from the session itself.
Okay. So that's like a really packed, I would say, healing audio. But tell me, you've had people who have worked on themselves and got 100% healed?
Yes, there have been people that way. I'd like to also share one. Sometimes you don't know that a person is your parent, either the father or the mother, and
Mhm. Mhm.
there's some kind of constant conflict happening between the two. So
Hmm.
there was this relationship concern, and the client said, like, he said, why is my father always against me? It seems he doesn't like me at all.
Hmm.
After the session, we got such a deep insight, because the story was that in another lifetime, he was the husband, the father was the wife, and
Oh.
he was a very cruel and authoritative dictator kind of a husband.
husband.
So
Hmm.
much so that uh, the wife runs away with her
Oh.
two children, and she escapes from him. He used to torture him so much. So that made complete sense that in this lifetime, like, it obviously the father didn't know this was the reason that he was always picking on that son.
Hmm.
But
And is it always that, all these souls around us, they take shapes of father, mother, husband, brother, sister. In every birth, you go together, or I mean, how is it? There could be some new soul
this,
also who can enter,
yeah, yeah, not everyone in your immediate family is from your
connected.
soul family. It's called the soul family. There was another client who was watching or writing this story of being born. Right? I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm getting ready to uh, go down to earth to be born, to be conceived, actually."
Huh.
So then I said, "Okay, can you tell me more about it?" So he says, "The parents I'm going to, they're very narcissistic." And I was
Oh,
like caught off guard when he said that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I said, "But then if you know they're narcissists, why are you choosing those as
Choosing
your
them.
parents?" Why the
Correct, correct.
He said, "Because I have to save my sisters." So I said,
Oh.
"Okay, what kind of connection? How do you know? Why do you have to save
Hmm.
them?" So he said, "I
Hmm.
have been with them in many lifetimes. So,
Okay.
so I want to be there for them." And then he was born. You know what guilt he was carrying? And that the soul had chosen to save or be there for his sisters. But when
Hmm.
in the current life, one of his sisters committed suicide, right? Because she felt that no one was there to look after her or route for
Um,
her.
okay.
Right?
So to heal that feeling, he's coming into existence.
No, no, no.
Uh,
He could, he could, that was what they had chosen at that time, what he was
okay.
watching,
Okay.
right?
Huh.
But then his current life story went that way that one of his sisters, she committed suicide. So he also wanted to know, one of his questions was, where is that sister now? Because
Ah.
that guilt was playing within him
Hmm.
that I never did anything to help her.
Hmm.
So he was told that, this sister who committed suicide,
Hmm.
she had a daughter. The daughter
Okay.
grew up, got married, and had a child. So he was told that child is that sister
Is
who's
the
come back.
sister. That's really wonderful, So he saw his purpose that he was born into this family to protect the sister, but clearly his mission was not fulfilled, and the obviously he could not take care of her, and so she. But tell me, will this affect now because he came to Earth to do a certain mission. Like that was his thing that I'm going to protect, and now she's obviously, he could not do that. But he'll have to come again to do the same thing.
No, no, he got a closure through that.
Oh, he got a closure through the
Yeah,
hypnotherapy.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
there's
it's resolved in the realm.
there's nothing written in stone, right?
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
if you go from this road, you'll meet this. If you go from the other road, then your narrative changes. Again, it's
This
free will.
is It's very intriguing. I'm just thinking that, how much we all talk about karma, bad karma. We've come with so much of karma, and anything goes wrong. I'm always sitting and saying that, oh, I must have done such bad karmas, in my last birth. So I have to face this. So tell me, I mean, I can always just go under hypnosis and I would, rather visit whatever I have done wrong and heal that in the other realm while I'm here. Because that is resolving my karma part also.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
this quantum healing hypnosis is a very powerful tool. I remember reading Brian West, Many Lives, Many Masters. So this changed my life, this book, and I know it's changed your life too, and that's how we bond together also. Uh, but I'm just wondering that, can people start resolving their karmas like this?
Not everyone thinks that way, that it's because of any past karma, and it's fine not to think that way, because sometimes they just don't know what the reason is. So we go deep
Yeah.
into the story, uh,
Hmm.
and sometimes it may not just be karma that way,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
And uh, you can also, in the session, we cancel all karmas and we do
That's
clearances
all.
for
Okay.
the, yeah,
Okay. Another question I wanted to ask you was that this is obviously, physical person coming to you. You do this, I mean, this can be done online too, because I guess,
absolutely. It can be
okay.
done online. In fact, I've had some amazing virtual sessions, and this was the person I told you about, keeping the client's confidentiality.
Hmm.
This was a virtual session, and guess
Oh,
who the client channeled in that session? It was
oh,
Dolores Cannon. So this
wow.
is Dolores's method. It's similar to
She's the
the
one who's coined this whole quantum healing hypnosis.
quantum.
So what did she have to say?
Such a powerful presence, and I could feel that presence, and it's very touched, and I was very emotional, and I said, because she's on the other side, and me having that kind of respect for her work and following everything. So out of respect, you know how you say mother so and so, yeah, ma something in
Yeah,
our
yeah,
culture.
yeah.
So
Yes.
I said, "Oh, Mother Dolores, is it really you? I thought I'd never get to talk to you. I'm so excited." I was like crying. And
Oh, yes. Yeah.
so she said something very sweet. And she also gave me some instructions through the client on how to go about healing. And she
Oh.
said, yeah, she said, um, when you're healing people, you connect your heart with a beam of light to the other person's heart, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the light knows where to go. And you say, may the healing be done. The healing is done. The universe has healed so and so. May his troubles end. She gave
Wow.
me that instruction. And I told her, I'm so grateful, Mother Dolores. And she said, I love you, my daughter. It was really sweet the way she,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Tell me, did the client know of her?
not really. He must have seen one clip which I had sent, which gives an insight on what quantum healing is and
Yeah,
what
but
to
did he know
expect.
her?
No, no, he didn't.
Oh, so like when you said that who is here, he
Yeah,
took the name on his own.
yeah. He said Dolores. And
Wow. Okay. And he won't even know what channeling is.
no, not at all. In fact,
And-
some very funny things happened. So when I was putting him under, he went off to sleep. And this was a virtual session. He was snoring, and I'm calling out his name, I'm
Okay.
calling out his name. And then there was slight movement, and then I realized, okay, now he's in the right place. and we
Hmm.
continued the session.
How a person, when you wake up, like I said, the theta wave, so the brain goes into that
Yes.
space.
It's called the
And
somnambulistic state, where you're not
oh,
neither sleeping nor you're awake.
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. That's how the client keeps talking.
Hmm.
I've had feedbacks from clients when they say, I felt like I was sitting somewhere and someone was doing the talking for me.
Do they remember always everything they have said, or do they get little fogs that, like how this person would have got fogs that, whoever I channeled and what name I took, I don't even know this person. So
Uh, that's why we have the um, post session
recording.
post session discussion. He
Okay.
did have an idea who Dolores Cannon was, but he didn't know that he would be channeling her. And
Hmm.
sometimes they say, I remember everything, but when they listen to the um, session,
Recording.
session recording, then they say, oh, this also happened. This also happened. So,
Yeah.
as the veil has thinned, people
Huh.
remember more and more how the session went for them.
Yeah, I was just wanting to ask you that, you've been doing this practice for many years now. And what is the difference between when you used to do it 7, 8 years back and now when you do this, because there is this whole thing of veil being thinning. And could you please explain what you mean by thinning of the veil?
The other realms, right?
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
veil between,
Hmm.
right? We cannot see beyond our 3D
Hmm.
reality, and
And can they also cannot see us?
no, they can,
Okay, they can, but we can't.
yeah,
Okay.
because if they vibrate higher, and they are much more evolved, then
Hmm.
they can see. And
Okay.
if we are not caught in the lower densities and we focus
Hmm.
more on meditation and on ourselves and
Yeah.
breathing and all that,
Self-love, basically. We
self
practice
love,
self-love.
everything, all of
Yeah.
those, so uh, then we are able to connect better. So the veil is
Hmm.
thinning means that the connection is getting a little more easy.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was very dense to
Hmm.
connect uh, with the other side, with the even the higher self,
Okay.
or any beings of light.
Okay. When you say higher self, is one is, of course, our consciousness and the super consciousness. You're saying that,
Dimensional beings, right? So
okay.
there's just a drop of us in this dimension, and
Acha.
our higher self is that part of us which knows everything,
Okay. And the whole of it is us only. Okay.
because we are part of the whole. We come from the creator,
Hmm.
that is the whole, right?
Hmm.
And then as we one little drop of the divine spark which goes into us, which is the prana,
Hmm.
that makes a
Okay.
whole person, and the person starts identifying with with the I, or the
Hmm.
ego, right? They
It's
think,
like the
okay,
drop in the ocean. So you come from the ocean, but you are a drop right now, and then that drop starts thinking that I am,
an
different,
individual.
an individual. But once
Yeah,
you get into the ocean, you are the
but
ocean. Okay.
everything is connected, because we came
Yes.
come from the same whole. We come from the same collective consciousness, source, God, whatever you want to call it. And
And even the other realms which are there, which exist, they also are connected to the same source. They are
yes,
just basically vibrating higher than us, so we can't see them.
yeah, and they are also like we are in the 3D third
Hmm.
density, right? They are more evolved.
Three-dimensional, more linear. Hmm.
They are much
Hmm.
more evolved, and they can do a lot more with their consciousness because they know they have the power. And what
So
we don't know is that we also have the power. But
know how to use it.
yeah, we don't know because from childhood we are conditioned with all those self-doubt, low self-worth.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's been a thing in society, or maybe told to us by our parents also, who didn't know, who weren't doing it deliberately to create any
Yeah.
kind of shadow, but all these shadows do get created in the long
So,
run.
but what would be then the ideal growing up for us to realize all that power? So, I mean, there's no model created up till now on earth that will say that, okay, because this person can heal himself or herself. This person has no trouble only. This person is basically life is not complicated for but there is no person like that. So there's no model actually, where uh, it can be seen and practiced, today and get to people to realize their full powers. What are your thoughts on it?
What can be done is, along with other subjects, if it can be inculcated in schools, right? But
Okay.
there's again no awareness amongst parents when they themselves don't know their own
Correct.
power. So
Yes.
will take a lot of time for people to realize that they have the power within them. Once they are able to cancel out all the noise that distracts them, the matrix that pulls them pulls them towards materialism, and there are so many other distractions which keep them
Correct.
away from their power.
Yes. We are looking for a utopian world, planet which is known for being very hard with the souls. So it's the school in the
Yes.
whole of universe for souls.
The
So basically,
Dolores Cannon says that Earth is a school, and the souls come here to learn their lessons, and the lessons
hmm.
are repeated until we don't learn them. There is no hard and fast rule, but again, it goes round and round in a loop till the soul does not realize and evolve.
There are so many things that we battle with in life, and at least we can be sure that uh, there are certain things which we could not understand earlier. At least these kind of modalities like quantum healing hypnosis have now started being more known, and more people can reach out. So with that, Mamta, I would want you to please let our listeners know where they can find you, since you are available and you can do this virtually too.
You can find me on Facebook and DM me there. My name is Mamta Khan. And on Instagram, my handle is Quantum Healing with Mamta. On
Okay,
Instagram, you can find me there. You can DM
okay.
me there. And there's also a WhatsApp option on Instagram. And people can WhatsApp me and like
With that, thank you so much. And